Deep within the beautiful rolling Ouachita Mountains of central Arkansas is a magical, mysterious place. Art happens here. My name is Daniel, and welcome to my imaginary world revealed in paint. My kingdom. Officially speaking, the kingdom begins here, with this dragon. The kingdom is founded upon Origami Dragons. My wife's son Jonathan folded it, and I noticed it, and it triggered something in me. I simply knew I was going to use it in my still lifes, but it took some time for me to fully understand how. What I didn't know that it was folded out of a hamburger wrapper, and I came home one day to find it had been rather mauled by my best buddy Elvis. I wasn't too happy about that at the time, but knowing what we know now, I think it's clear he was framed, so I had to cut him some slack on that little episode. The dragon received some reconstructive surgery and seems to be none the worse for the wear. I had already been concentrating on still lifes for a few years, gradually developing my stipple glazing techniques that I utilize today. I was exploring symbolism and was touching upon the visual storytelling that I'm fully immersed in now, but I did not have a unifying concept behind my work. Then, months after noticing that dragon, I placed it upon a pine board with 2 matchsticks and a bottle. The story implications were so strong that I actually wrote a brief piece of fiction to try and explain what I was doing. And just like that, the kingdom, my kingdom, was born. I had a muse of sorts, for to my knowledge, no one in the history of fine art has ever used Origami Dragons thematically. A major career piece had fallen into place. It was also a wonderful complement to my stipple glazing paint manipulation techniques that I had developed in isolation. I was off and running. My kingdom, rather than feeling limited, seemed to be a limitless playground for my imagination. Torch's Tower and Dragon also introduces something that I've become very fond of. That is, using colored glass to produce what I call luminous shadows. I find these shadows to be visually interesting and can be a real challenge to paint. One more thing I'd like to touch upon is recognizing tendencies. This, of course, requires hindsight to put into proper perspective. I am someone whose tendencies are to bring order to chaos. My still lifes in general are not random, they are highly ordered, very much composed. And I have recognized over time my tendency to include a perfect or near-perfect horizontal line somewhere within the piece, in this case the bottle top, providing a subtle sense of stability to the painting. Writing a brief passage of fiction is still a key element in the development of my visual ideas. I call this writing Tales from the Kingdom, and with regards to Torch's Tower and Dragon, I wrote, "The castle held silent, fastened like a vault, its tasty contents breathless, wanting nothing more than the terror to pass. A prodding, creeping pestilence was upon the kingdom, brazenly open against a setting sun. From within, the huddled villagers looked down upon the massive beast, just as its footfalls were felt in their bones. In a timid whisper, someone suggested, 'Maybe we should offer a sacrifice.' Glances were exchanged. Many considered the thought, but made no move to act, for this beast was new to this land and unknown. 'Perhaps it will pass in the night,' said another. "Light no torches," advised a guard. And so they waited in silent shadow, hoping for the best. Safe it seemed. But alas, the evening was still young. It's my intention to make still life painting vibrant and exciting by means of visual storytelling. If you indeed found this interesting, you may enjoy other Kingdom Explored or setup videos, one of which will be linked at the end. Liking and subscribing is appreciated, and thank you so much for viewing.